Hello. Thank you for showing an interest in choosing separate sciences at GCSE. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mrs. Harold and I work at Henry Box School with an amazing team of science teachers. So I'm here to tell you a little bit more about the course. So you may be thinking why you would like to study GCSE separate sciences. And there are a number of reasons, but here are a few. Firstly, separate sciences contain a lot more content than combined sciences. You will sit 14 lessons a fortnight, whereas combined sciences, you will sit 9 lessons. If you're thinking of taking A-levels, separate sciences are a really good foundation for those A-levels, especially if they have a scientific background. If you sit separate sciences, you also tend to get better grades at A-level. And if you're thinking of taking a career with a science background and you want to go to university, separate sciences will set you up better for that. The other thing to think about is most top universities prefer applicants who have separate sciences. And also, if you have separate sciences under your belt, there are employers that are absolutely crying out for candidates with those science-based skills. And finally, you can study separate sciences just because you love all things science, or that you're good at it, or both. So another reason you might want to choose separate sciences is because it goes with a number of subjects. Okay, now there may be some subjects that you're not sure will it go with, but here's an idea to maybe get you to think a little bit more. So firstly, if you're artistic, science does go with art. So you can have careers in architectural design, industrial designers, and even professional taxidermists with a science and art background. If you like geography, having a background of science with geography means that you can do things like becoming a cartographer, an environmental consultant, a nature conservation officer. If you're a historian and you love all things history, science and history go really well together. There are careers such as museum curators, archaeologists, even political scientists. And DT as well. If you enjoy DT, science goes well with DT. For example, careers with those backgrounds are, for example, mechanics, farriers, and even food technologists. So what will you study if you choose separate sciences? You will study all 3 sciences: physics, chemistry and biology. And like I said, there will be 14 lessons a fortnight instead of the usual 9 for combined sciences. Okay, you will be taught by a team of specialist subject teachers, and your lessons will of course include content, but also a range of practical activities, all of which will be assessed regularly and all which will be tested for in your GCSE exams. So what will you study for each individual topic? For biology, you will cover 7 topics. These will include biology about cells, biology of organisations, for example, systems in plants and animals, infections and response, which is very topical at the moment, bioenergetics, that's about how living things acquire and transform energy, homeostasis and response, so how we respond to changes in our environment, inheritance, variation and evolution, and also ecology. So in chemistry, you will study 9 topics. These cover the atomic structure and the periodic table, bonding, structure and the properties of matter, quantitative chemistry, chemical changes, energy changes, the rate and extent of chemical change, organic chemistry, chemical analysis, and also chemistry of our atmosphere. Physics, you will study 8 topics that include energy. You'll learn about electricity, about the particle model of matter, atomic structure, forces, waves, magnetism and electromagnetism, and you'll also study space physics. You won't study space physics if you choose combined. This is only a separate science route. So how will you be assessed? At the end of the course, you will sit 6 papers. Each paper is 1 hour 45 minutes each, and there will be 2 papers for each subject. And at the end, you'll be rewarded for 3 separate sciences. So your exams will include things like understanding of the scientific processes. You'll be examined on your experimental skills and strategies that you've practiced in lessons. You'll be tested on your analysis and evaluation of any data you've collected or any data they give you. And you'll also be tested on new scientific vocabulary, the symbols that you use and units you will use for calculations as well. So you might think about what skills and qualities you need to be able to sit science. There are a number of skills and qualities, but here are a few skills and qualities that scientists tend to have. Okay. So we need to be curious. We need to be curious about our world. We need to want to know, we need to ask lots of questions like why things work, how things happen, why they happen. Okay. We need to be very observant. So we need to be able to collect and record data accurately and confidently. We need to think logically about what we're doing and how we solve problems. We need to be, like I said, a problem solver. We need to be a good communicator to be able to get our ideas across. You might not think scientists need to be creative, but we do. We need to ask questions and we need to think of every possible answer to those questions and then think about how we are going to test those questions to see if they find those answers to see if we are correct. And finally, the best skill of all is just to have a love for all things science. So I hope I've given you all the information you need at this time to make a decision. If you have any more questions, all the science teachers at Henry Box will be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Thank you for listening.